Here it is, the part of Tagalong 2 that everyone was waiting for, the drive on Sunday morning. This really brought out some weapons, you know. It's awesome to see everyone showing up with all sorts of different rigs. And boy, we had quite a drive too. More than one car wound up scratched at the end of the day. The best thing for all of us was just watching how all the different cars performed.
Bacon! Bring it on!
My crew had all camped on top of the hill, and it was really good actually, because this is the first time the handbrakes had a chance to try that clamshell on the roof. And I'll tell you what, she really enjoyed it, and we were eating really well too, just quietly, as you'd expect. Thank you everybody. Pretty soon people are starting to assemble down on the flats underneath the drags. And you know what, it was looking like being a beautiful day.
Well, at least if we all get lost together, it'll be fun.
Before we could do anything else though, we had to get everyone, or every vehicle anyway, to register for the prizes. And I guess there was plenty of time because, let's face it, with so many four-wheel drivers together, we were just checking out each other's trucks. The idea behind registration for the prizes was that we were going to have draws as the drive went on. So we had some fantastic prizes to give away, as you're probably aware. And the best way to do that, we figured, was to actually do it on the drive. Get people up, get a few draws happening, and see how it worked out. As it is, it worked out really good, I reckon, but you wait and see. Meanwhile, like everybody else, I was just eyeballing all the different ways you can make a vehicle into a real four-wheel driver. Pretty soon, we're just about ready and we're off. Alben was out in the lead, it's his property, nobody knows it better than him, and right from the start I got the thought, he's not going to take it that easy today. And I also remember thinking, you know what, this is going to get tougher as the day goes on, because there's going to be more mud and the trucks up the back are going to be battling with more and more. Mind you, some of these guys look like that's all they wanted to do. It wasn't just guys either, was it? There was plenty of girls driving. It was one of those full-on days for all of us. It was fantastic. Get a load of this beautiful GQ. I'll tell you what, almost enough to make a man turn to Nissans. But there was plenty of 80s to back it up, and some tough 75s too. Oh, wow, surrounded by trucks. How good can life get? I've only done about 11,000 Ks in Milo 2, you know, since we finished it off. And I'm still learning it. I love this kind of stuff because I'm just learning this truck. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's only done 10,000 Ks and already it's starting to look like Milo 1. And that's done 1,000,000 Ks. Gee, there was some nice rigs. Get a load. Oh, look at this. Isn't that beautiful for 100, eh? Just rolling along too. Everyone was happy to be out on the drive. Everyone's got something different to drive and we're all doing much the same thing. Just having fun. Now, as we went on, the track got trickier and trickier. And as you can imagine, with more cars coming through, everyone's taking a slightly different route. Before long, things are starting to get a little bit tricky towards the rear. That didn't stop anyone though. And it was really interesting too to see vehicles like this. You know, a brand new car with very little in the way of protection on its way through. It did most of the track too, right up until the end stages. Meanwhile, there's me having a whole heap of fun. This was the handbrake's first drive in Milo 2. And you know what? Straight away I found something out. It hasn't got any grab handles like old Milo, so there's nothing for her to hang on to. Oh well, might have to do something about that. Get a load of this, a P-plater in a 60 series. You can't do better than that. Get a load of Shane Fuller's 60 series. It's beautiful. And he did well too. He won the Angle Fridge. But here comes Dylan driving his mum's truck and he's got his L plates on. Dylan just turned 16. His mum told me later that he's been looking at our stuff since he was 2 years old. How good's that, eh? It's an awful lot worse for a young bloke to get into than trucks, I can tell you. He's having a lot of fun too. He entered in the cooking competition. But meanwhile, everyone's spoken out the way these wheels go. You know, we're all keen to see what works and what doesn't work. That's the funny thing. And as the day went on, as I said, it got muddier, it got slipperier, things got a little bit trickier.
Like that,
But pulling over for another prize draw meant everyone got a chance to catch up. Number 8. Okay, Mia has had a draw, and the winner is number 8. I think it's Craig Hamilton, 76 series. Craig Hamilton, do you copy?
Yeah, copy that.
Beautiful. Remembering how to spell my name. There you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We're having lots of fun.
What about a little track this way?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. Well, this time we're starting to get up the back end of LandCruiser Park. And this is where the slopes get steeper, a little bit trickier, and there's plenty of rocks to engage too. Did that stop any of our mob? No, nobody. Everyone was having a good time. But you can see that track churning up, can't you? You know what that means? People up the back. Got to work a little bit harder to get it through. Get a load of this Hilux. Ooh, they're a great thing, aren't they? Even standard they do well. And plenty of 60s on the trip, you know. I just saw 60s everywhere. I love 60s. This one's my mate Jason's. He had 2 60s up there this weekend. Jason helped me with Milo too. He put in some big hours and some late nights. Oh, you just, you know, you got to appreciate your mates, haven't you? There goes Troopenstein. Gee, that troopy's travelled a few miles. Oh, get away there. The trail's walking up the hills. You know, they do have wonderful suspension movement, but compared to the Jeeps, it's pretty slow. Now, the Isuzu, this is Dean in his Bush Company rig, a little bit limited by that independent front suspension, but it wasn't going to stop Dean. Even on reasonably standard tyres, he was going to put that thing anywhere. I know he had a few adventures when we weren't watching early that morning too. Went out for a bit of a spin with the lads. They took on a few hard tracks. He wasn't on his own there though. There was a lot of people over the weekend, you know, taking off for a little bit of fun. Now watch this Jeep roll over the bumps. You know, people wonder why I'm impressed by Jeeps. You can tell, can't you? Just that suspension, it's so good. Oh, someone needs some mounts for his Max tracks. They're good, mate, but they don't recover themselves. About now, one of the guys told me on the radio that he'd been through here the day before and got to the really steep part and there was a bit of a log over the track. So we were kind of wondering what would be the go when we got there. Alben was packing a chainsaw though, so he was all ready, as you'd expect. He even had someone there to do the cutting for him. Ain't fun yet. Excellent. Fun yet. So while we're stuck up the front cutting through a log, the boys down the back have found a big mud puddle to have a bit of fun in. It's just no stopping some people, is there? Well, there was this time, a big muddy puddle. But that's alright, because I was nowhere to be seen. Me, I was up the front, having a little bit of a muck around. Started out, he just wanted it signed, but then I had to have a go because, hey, it just looked like too much fun.
Second crack.
Righto, let's have another go, see what happens. Come on, mate, you know how it is. Keep on going, eventually you get there. Meanwhile, back up the front. The party's still going on down the back. When we got back, first thing we saw was Colby's GQ. Ooh, wasn't looking pretty. He told me later the body was just about the worst thing on the truck anyway, so now he'd have plenty of practice pulling the good bits out of it, chucking them into another body. It turned out he'd gone down Telecom Hill, backwards, on his roof. Not good, mate.
happened?
Well, she just went a bit wild and I rolled her.
Whereabouts?
Coming down Telecom.
Oh, you're joking.
Straight on a slid.
Straight on a sled.
Yeah, took about 4 hours to get back over.
Sounds like a good excuse to go build another truck to me. There's no holding a four-wheel driver back, is there? And some of these guys have had a wonderful day playing today. By crikey, there was some tough GQs there. Oh, the longer I look at them, the more I think I've got to own one.
How are we?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good self.
You been having some fun?
Oh yeah.
Okay, time for some prizes. All right, special prize for you, Corby. This is to go towards your next truck, which had better be a Toyota, mate. Good on you. Well done, mate. These little rock lights, I don't know if you've tried them. They're insane. I got one on the front of one motorbike, and it's better than the 8-inch headlight on it. Caleb.
Yep.
Where are you? That's you? Well done, mate.
Right.
Lanatech, come and grab it, please.
Thank you.
Put your arms out, there's more than that. These bottles are awesome. And there you go. Well done, mate.
Appreciate it, mate.
No worries at all. If you know, like we're all mates here, so the dead honest thing, 20 years I've had Milo. It's been buried in salt and sand and shit and all sorts of things. And all I've ever done is wash it a couple of times a year thoroughly and spray Lanatech underneath. All right, Lanatech number 2, Andrew Cameron.
Yep.
Well done. Good on you, mate. And that one too.
Thank you very much.
That should fix a few things.
It should. It's a great drive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for coming. Okay, the Max Tracks. Ty Carger. We couldn't get through to you on the road. Are you here? That's you?
Yeah.
Oh, good on you, mate. Well done. Our second set of Max Tracks goes to a 60 series, and I couldn't work out your first name.
Give it a go. Yeah, just try.
Erkins? And was it? Joanne, it was. Joanne? Hey, on you, mate. They'll help. You guys need all the help you can get. Terrain Tamer compressors. There's lots of different compressors all coming out of the same company. This is all free tips for nothing, all right? And they all come out of the same compressor company. But I've pulled them to bits. And if you look at the difference, it's not always related to price, but some of them have got no bearings, little nylon things instead of bearings, and they have brass tangs on the armatures, thin wires and funny clips. And the further up the tree you go, the better they get. And these are about as good as they get. So we've got 2 of those. Nick, what's your name? Mathos. Beautiful. Good on you, Nick.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Second TT compressor, Craig Hamilton. Craig? Oh, way to go.
Yep. Thanks, mate.
Flippin' awesome. Good on you.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Great drive today.
Yeah, thanks.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'd like to thank everybody. It was great. It's always good fun hanging out with mates. Century battery. I use these things. They're awesome. The Overlander batteries. You know why they're good? You know, I love giving away little tips, but it's true. If you buy a battery that's made overseas, takes 3 months to get here, sits on a shelf for 2 months, you know, you buy a Century battery made here in Brisbane. David Manhire, is it? Yeah. Pajero. Well done. Good on you. Oh, that's yours. Okay, reach up and dig around. Who we got? 26. Peter Young, 60 series. And you've got a set of rock lights too.
Oh, thanks very
which you'll find will double the lighting in the 60 series.
much. Slightly. Thanks very much.
That's not hard, eh? Thank you everybody for coming. And I look forward to driving with any of you, because anyone who did that track was doing pretty well. It wasn't that hard, but it wasn't that easy. And if you can confidently do stuff like that, you can confidently go anywhere in Australia. We live in the biggest country on earth. You'd be crazy not to while you still can. All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
So I'd just like to thank John and them and everyone else join with me and say thank you, John.
Thanks.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. No worries. Hey, we'll probably try and do this next year too, eh?